Today we are going to talk about malignant melanoma. It is a neoplasm of the melanocytes or a neoplasm of the cells that develop from the melanocytes. Malignant melanoma is the leading cause of death due to skin disease. The reported incidence of melanoma has doubled over the past 30 years. Each year, melanoma causes an estimated 9,940 deaths. It's about two-thirds in men. 1 in 4 cases of melanoma occurs before the age of 40 years, and the lifetime risk of melanoma is 2% in whites and 0.1 to 0.5% in non-whites people. Now, clinical features of the malignant melanoma. Melanomas have two growth phases, radial phase and vertical phase. During the radial growth phase, malignant cells grow in a radial fashion in the epidermis. And with time, most melanomas progress to the vertical growth phase in which the malignant cells invade the dermis and develop the ability to metastasize. Clinically, lesions are classified according to their depth as follows. Thin lesions are 1 mm or less, and moderate lesions are 1 to 4 mm, and thick lesions are more than 4 mm. Primary malignant melanomas may be classified into various clinico-histologic types. Number 1 is lentigo malignant melanoma. On chronically sun-exposed skin of the older individuals, this occurs. Second is superficial spreading malignant melanoma. Two-thirds of the malignant melanomas arising on the intermittent sun-exposed skin are superficial spreading malignant melanomas. Number third type is nodular malignant melanoma. Fourth one is acral lentiginous melanomas. These arise on the palms, soles and nail beds. Fifth one is ocular melanoma, and last is malignant melanomas on mucous membrane. These different clinical types of melanomas appear to have different types of oncogenic mutations which may be important in treatment. Now, clinical features of pigmented lesions suspicion of melanoma are an irregular notched border where the pigment appears to be spreading into the normal surrounding skin. Surface topography that may be irregular, for example partly raised and partly flat. Color variegation is present and is an important indication for referral. A useful mnemonic is the ABCD rule. A for symmetry, B stands for border irregularity, C is color variegation, D is diameter greater than 6 mm, and E for evolution. The history of a changing mole evolution is the single most important historical reason for close evaluation and referral. Bleeding and ulceration are ominous signs. A mole that appears distinct from the patient's other moles deserves special scrutiny. Patient with a large number of moles is statistically at increased risk for melanoma and deserves annual total body skin examination by a primary care clinician or dermatologist. While superficial spreading melanoma is largely a disease of whites, persons of other races are still at risk for this and other types of melanomas, particularly acral lentiginous melanomas. These occurs as dark, irregular shaped lesions on palms and soles, and as new, often broad and solitary, darkly pigmented longitudinal streaks in the nails, typically with involvement of proximal nail fold. Acral lentiginous melanoma may be a difficult diagnosis because benign pigmented lesions of hand, feet, and nail occur commonly in more darkly pigmented persons, and clinicians may hesitate to biopsy the palms, soles, and nails. Clinicians should give special attention to new or changing lesions in these areas. Now, differential diagnosis. Differentials to consider in the diagnosis of malignant melanomas include benign melanocytic lesions, dysplastic nevus, squamous cell carcinoma, metastatic tumors to skin, blue nevus, epithelioid tumor, or Spitz tumor. Now, workup for the diagnosis. Following laboratory studies are indicated. First of all, complete blood count, then complete blood profile including alkaline phosphatase, Patrick transaminases, total protein and albumin. This may give clue to possible metastatic diseases. If alkaline phosphatase level is increased, it indicates metastasis to bone and liver, and if LFTs are increased, it indicates metastasis to the liver. Following imaging modalities may be considered, like chest radiograph, MRI of brain, ultrasonography is the best imaging study for diagnosing lymph node involvement, and computed tomography of the chest, abdomen and pelvis. Positron emission tomography or PET scan may be best imaging study for identifying other sites of metastasis. Procedures to be considered in workup include complete excisional biopsy of suggestive lesion, surgical excision or re-excision after biopsy, sentinel lymph node biopsy. Now, what are the characteristic findings of malignant melanoma? Number one is the cytologic atypia with enlarged cells containing large pleomorphic hyperchromic nuclei with prominent nucleoli, and second is the numerous mitotic figures, and at the end pagetoid growth pattern with upward growth of the melanocytes. Now, staging of the malignant melanoma. Clark staging is as follows. Level 1, all tumor cells above the basement membrane, disease is in situ. And at the level 2, tumor extends into papillary layer of the dermis, and at the level 3, tumor extends to interface between papillary and reticular dermis. And at the level 4, tumor extends between bundles of collagen of reticular dermis, extends into reticular layers of the dermis. And level 5, tumor invasion of the subcutaneous tissue. Now, management of the malignant melanoma. Surgery like wide local excision with sentinel lymph node biopsy and regional lymph node dissection, if indicated, is the definitive treatment for early stage melanoma. Medical management is reserved for adjuvant therapy in patients with advanced melanoma. Adjuvant therapy for resectable stage 3 melanomas include immunotherapy with ipilimumab, interferon alpha, pegylated interferon, nivolumab, pembrolizumab, and for unresectable stage 3, stage 4, and recurrent melanoma may include immunotherapy, signal transduction inhibitors, and intralesional therapy, chemotherapy, and palliative local therapy. Now we will move toward these surgical procedures may be used to treat brain metastasis. Number 1 is the stereotactic radiosurgery for patients with limited number of mets, and second is external beam radiation. Now, prognosis of the malignant melanoma. Malignant melanomas usually present at two extremes. At one end of the spectrum are patients with small skin lesions that are easily curable by surgical resection, and at the other end, other patients are with widely metastatic disease, in whom the therapeutic options are limited and the prognosis is nil, with a median survival of only 6 to 9 months. For this reason, physicians must be aware of the clinical characteristic of melanoma to make an early diagnosis. Prognosis also is related to the type of melanoma. Superficial spreading and nodular types of melanoma are the two most common fatal melanomas. Based on a review of data from the original 9 registries of surveillance epidemiology and end result SEER program from 1978 to 2007. The most important prognostic factors include the following: thickness and level of invasion, mitotic index, mitosis per millimeter, ulceration or bleeding at the primary site, number of regional lymph nodes involved with distinction of macrometastasis and micrometastasis, systemic metastasis including a site non-visceral versus lung versus all other visceral sites, and serum lactate dehydrogenase level elevation. In general, positive prognostic factors include the following: younger age, female sex, and melanoma located on the extremities.